Do you want to be the storm that rips through the battlefield, freezing your enemies solid as you rend them apart? Do you want to become nearly unkillable in your rampage, laughing at your enemies' attempts to hurt you? What is going on, Guardians? Dwarverich here, and in this video I will be showcasing an extremely tanky endgame Revenant build that takes advantage of the new Lightfall mod system to completely undo a severe nerf from about a year ago. I received a lot of requests to revisit my old Revenant build and make it work in Lightfall, but it doesn't just work, it became even stronger. In the background you're seeing some Legend Lost Sector gameplay at 20 power underlevel, and these enemies struggle to do anything to us. They're constantly frozen in our infinite Duskfields, and when they do hit us we shrug it right off with our massive damage reduction. And as usual, we're not using the artifact, so this build is meant to withstand the test of time. Now let's get to the build explanation. At the center of this build is an exotic with quite a history, Renewal Grasps. Renewal Grasps' exotic perk, Depths of Duskfield, enhances our Duskfield grenades in multiple ways. It makes the radius much larger, gives us and our teammates 25% damage reduction for standing inside, and gives affected enemies a 50% damage penalty. It also spawns a larger stasis crystal in the center of the Duskfield. For all these benefits, there is a huge drawback. It takes our Duskfield cooldown from a base of 91 seconds to 152 seconds. But with the new mod system, we can now completely circumvent this downside and make this exotic worth running once again. Our first aspect is Touch of Winter, which enhances our Duskfield by making it larger. This stacks with Renewal Grasps to make our Duskfields 14 meters across, which is large enough to easily encompass clusters of enemies. Our second aspect, Grim Harvest, creates stasis shards when we kill a stasis affected enemy that will give melee energy. It also gives us 3 fragment slots for a total of 5, which allows us to pack a lot of functionality into our fragments. For fragments, we have Whisper of Chains, Durance, Shards, Rending, and Rime. Whisper of Chains is yet another source of damage reduction. It gives us a whopping 40% for being within 10 meters of a frozen enemy or a crystal. Durance extends the duration of our Duskfields from 7 seconds to 9 seconds, allowing us to chain Duskfields more easily. Shards gives us 500% more grenade energy regen for 6 seconds when we break a stasis crystal, which brings a solid chunk of grenade energy back, helping us chain back-to-back Duskfields. Rending will have our primary weapons hitting ridiculously hard against frozen targets, with a massive 43% damage buff. Rime gives us healing whenever we collect a stasis shard, and if we're already full it gives us a stasis overshield. The stasis overshield gives us a further 25% damage reduction as long as it's active. Our super, Silence and Squall, is a fantastic battlefield control tool. The Fire and Forget Flash Freeze and subsequent Stasis Storm will absolutely cripple everything it touches and can shut down an entire room with ease, and cause lots of shatter damage to help clean it up. For stats, we're going for 100 resilience first, because a constant 30% damage reduction is too strong to pass up. This completes our suite of damage reduction sources. So now, if an enemy is affected by our Duskfield, it deals 50% less damage thanks to Renewal Grasps, and we get 25% damage reduction on top of that for being in the area. Whisper of Chains gives us another 40% damage reduction, and our Stasis Overshield gives us another 25%. Finally, Resilience gives us 30% for a grand total of 88% damage reduction, or only 12% damage taken. The amount of damage we can survive from an enemy inside our Duskfield is insane. Our next stat priority is Discipline to help us maintain those back-to-back Duskfields, and then as much mobility as possible for a shorter dodge cooldown. Our mod package is meant to allow us to ignore the Renewal Grasps nerf and get infinite Duskfields anyway. The core of our mod package is what I personally think might be the most underrated mod combo in the game right now. Double Empowered Finish, Stacks on Stacks, and a Finisher Payoff mod, in this case Explosive Finisher. This creates a self-sustaining loop that simultaneously spends and generates 3 stacks of armor charge every time we perform a finisher, turning every single finisher into nearly a full grenade energy refund. The rest of our mods are meant to help us get that last little bit of grenade energy back reliably, since Explosive Finisher gives us close to a full refund, but not quite. Double impact induction on the arms causes our Stasis Shuriken to refund a good bit of grenade energy. Our Stasis Shards will give us lots of melee energy, and we're also using Gambler's Dodge, so we'll have plenty of Shurikens available. Bolstering Detonation helps bring our dodge back faster, which means more melee refreshes, which in turn means more grenade energy. Appropriate Siphon mods on the helmet generate orbs, which feed into double innervation on the legs to turn orbs into even more grenade energy. It's a lot of redundancy, but between Explosive Finisher, melees, orbs, and Whisper of Shards, we can almost always find some way to get our Duskfield back before the previous one ends. For weapon choice, there's lots of flexibility. Any solid workhorse primary will excel with this build thanks to Whisper of Rending. Demolitionist weapons are a solid option for yet another way to secure that grenade refund. The new Stasis exotic bow is fantastic, since it can make stasis crystals to both activate Whisper of Chains and feed Whisper of Shards for more grenade regen. If you're watching in Season 20, a Void weapon with Repulsor Brace and the Volatile Flow seasonal mod can put all of your damage reduction behind a Void overshield that offers an additional 50%, making you borderline unkillable. And there you have it, a Revenant build that takes full advantage of the new mod system to freeze enemies in their tracks while being impossibly tanky. When Bungie announced that they would nerf Duskfields, nerf ability regen in general, and get rid of Elemental Well mods, it sounded like Stasis Hunter was in trouble. But instead, it evolved to become even stronger than before. I hope you all enjoyed the build and breakdown. Drop a like if you found this video helpful or entertaining, and if you want to see more endgame oriented builds like this one, consider subscribing to the channel. You can also find all my builds in a playlist, which I'll link in the description. You can find a dim link to the build in the description too, as well as a consolidated image of the build and a fashion sheet at the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll do my best to answer every question that comes my way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, Guardians.